From We Own This Town, this is The Hills Are Alive, a movie musical podcast. My name is Kelsey.
I'm Alex.
And today we are discussing
Annie.
Alex's favorite.
It's one of my favorites.
Okay. Why don't you just go ahead and explain yourself?
So I very much grew up with this musical. Before I was even born, it was my sister Jordan's favorite musical.
Mm-hmm.
And
is it still?
She still loves it, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's 1982. I think that's when she was born. There's actually cassette tape of her singing Tomorrow when she was 2 years old.
I 100% believe that.
So I grew up with it in the household, but it's also, I think that it's objectively great, even without the nostalgia factor.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Do you not?
Oh, man. No.
Okay.
No, I don't want to sound like a witch, but...
You don't like children?
I don't. I don't. And I don't like children. I don't like theater kids. There's a lot of theater kids.
Well, the thing that I was noticing this time, or just like a narrative that I built in my head watching it this time, that all the other orphans probably auditioned to be Annie.
A bunch of them did.
Yeah.
And they're all, you can tell they're still trying to maintain the spotlight.
Yes.
And to be clear, I don't hate theater kids, it's just sometimes kids have this way of acting.
You mean like Vanessa Bayer's character on SNL?
Vanessa Bayer is so good at doing like the Disney child star.
What are you doing?
Yeah, with that like really exaggerated and like overly cheerful voice.
Mama always said.
Yeah, and beyond that, like Annie as a character, I'm sorry, even for children, that person does not exist. There is no one that cheery and optimistic all the time.
Sure, yeah.
And then it's just, I don't know. Sometimes I like it when movies bring in historical characters and historical context into works of fiction.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's not that super well done. And I gotta say, I don't know. I don't love FDR and Eleanor in this movie.
But it's Richard Gilmore.
I know, and that I do love. I love Edward Herrmann, R.I.P.
Mm-hmm.
He looks so funny in the wheelchair too because he's so tall.
Yeah.
Like you can tell that's like very much a custom built chair that he's in. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that with musicals you just sort of have to like go with it.
Sure.
But I think it's the children really stop me from wanting to.
Right. I mean, for me at this point as an adult, it's more about the cast of adults that's in it is so incredible.
Yeah, no, that's true. We have a very amazing cast, including Carol Burnett, Tim
Curry, Bernadette Peters, and Albert Finney.
Yes. And then let's go ahead and mention two. I think her name Anne Reinking.
Anne Reinking, yes.
Yeah. She plays Grace.
And she is like, she recently passed away.
She did. She was in Chicago, Cabaret.
She was like an iconic Fosse dancer.
Yes. And she does have a lot of really good choreography.
Yeah, she does some great dancing in this.
Let's Go to the Movies and We Got Annie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I mean, there certainly are aspects of the film that I enjoy. And sometimes the kids are even cute.
Yeah.
There are cute moments. I just don't need cute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, for sure.
Too much.
For sure.
So, we usually do this later, but I want to note that this is our first movie musical that we're discussing that won a Razzie Award.
Really?
Yeah. It actually, I think this is kind of mean. Aileen Quinn actually won for Worst Supporting Actress, which is really cruel to do to a 10-year-old. This was in the 3rd annual Razzies, so maybe they were still like figuring it out.
Yeah. That's mean. I wonder if it was just because it's like a musical for kids or something. I don't know.
It was also nominated for Worst Picture.
What?
Worst Director, and also Worst Screenplay.
Serious?
It didn't win any of those, but it was nominated for all of them.
That's so strange to me.
Yeah, on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a score of 57%.
Okay.
The remake only has a score of 28%. So,
I'm surprised it's not lower.
And then to put those in perspective, Phantom of the Opera is 33%, like in the middle. So, I mean, 57, that's a mixed consensus.
Yeah. Okay.
It's mixed.
It's still surprising to me, but,
Yeah. I think it's definitely, it's the sentiment in the movie. It's just a little too much for a lot of people, I think.
Too artificially cheery.
A lot of people complain too that it didn't do enough justice to the stage production, which I haven't seen, so I couldn't say.
I haven't seen the stage production either. I was in Annie. Our 5th grade play was Annie, and I was Daddy Warbucks as a 5th grader.
Did they give you a bald cap?
But it wasn't directly. It wasn't Annie Jr. and it wasn't directly our director changed it a bunch and put in stuff from the movie and took out stuff from the stage play and stuff, which was so I don't know exactly what the stage production is like either, except for the fact that if you're talking about historical context and stuff, there was a lot more about. There was the scene in a Hooverville. Yeah. Which is a shanty village or whatever in the Depression.
Yes.
And there's a whole song called "We'd Like to Thank You, Herbert Hoover." Yeah. That is about just
they cut it.
Yeah, they cut it from the movie.
Yeah, I think the comic strip too that it was based upon, they didn't pull any direct plots from the comic, but I read that it was just a lot more focused on FDR, the Depression, right, and that it was very anti-New Deal.
Yeah.
Also, look, I didn't plan this, but do you know who published that comic?
Who?
Marvel.
Oh, so Annie's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I mean, technically.
I love it.
Technically. It wasn't produced. Okay. No, but we can pretend. It wasn't produced by Marvel, but it does come from Marvel.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's part of the Marvel universe, but not the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're distinct things, Alex.
Yeah. So the comic was more on the side of Daddy Warbucks and capitalism and whatever.
To my understanding.
Okay.
Yes. So can we assume you give this movie an A?
I want to say A. Maybe not A+, but yes. Okay. Strong A.
I'm going to give it a C.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the most...
I think this is the most different.
Yeah.
This is the biggest gap.
Yeah.
That we've ever had in our scores.
Yeah.
I had to break it up. I had to watch it in 2 settings.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, and I'd seen it before, so that was more for
It is, especially for a kids movie. It's still pretty long.
Yeah, it's a little long, and it very much is a kids movie.
Yeah.
Except for the part where a Bolshevik assassin tries to kill
right
Warbucks. Should we go ahead and just
jump into a recap?
Let's just get through it. All right.
So we have an overture, which is the song Tomorrow. It's playing over the picture of the locket. And in the locket they're showing the cast.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. It's very 80s.
Yes.
And our first look at Annie, she's sitting on the windowsill.
In the Hudson Street Home for Girls.
Yeah, just dreaming about her parents.
She's singing the song Maybe, which is very pretty.
It's a cute song.
There are a lot of reprises in this musical.
Yeah.
They bring back Maybe a lot. They bring back Tomorrow a lot.
They bring back It's the Hard Knock Life, Life a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so she's singing this in the window, dreaming about her parents, how they might be. And then her little friend...
This little girl, Molly's like, Annie.
Yeah, go ahead and wake up.
Oh, my God. Yeah, she wakes up the whole room of, like, 12 girls.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I sound awful. She's 6.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I get
She's
it.
having a nightmare.
But...
It's, they introduce Pepper, who seems like kind of the bully.
She's the bully, yeah. I will say, Molly, the one who's crying out for Annie. Like, she is super cute.
She's really cute.
Yeah. I love later on when she does her...
Bert Neely impression, yes.
So, yeah, she's had a bad dream, and Annie is, like, her surrogate big sister. Annie goes to comfort her and tells Molly, just imagine your wonderful parents.
Right.
And,
she basically diffuses a fight with Pepper, and then they, like, reprise Maybe. She sings it with Molly.
Yeah.
And then you get the Oh My Goodness Girl for the first time.
Yeah, isn't that, was that Duffy?
Duffy, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
And so Miss Hannigan is coming.
Yeah, she drunk.
She's drunk. And her first iconic line, do I hear singing in here?
She makes the girls get out of bed and start cleaning in the middle of the night.
But it's in the middle of the night.
Yeah, Carol Burnett's pretty funny.
She's so great.
I mean, I don't want to relate to her too much, but you know.
Yeah.
So they have their cleaning and they do the whole It's the Hard Knock Life thing. And, you know, I will say there's some really cool choreography.
There's some really cool dancing in
They're
this.
very good. They're great at acrobatics.
Uh-huh.
They're bad at cleaning, but they're good acrobats.
Right. And I love how whenever they're in the orphanage, they utilize the stairs for dancing.
Yeah, and they do that later on in Easy Street.
Yeah.
I think Easy Street might be my favorite.
Oh, it's
number.
same.
Yeah.
Same.
So, yeah, they're doing It's the Hard Knock Life. Molly does her little Miss Hannigan impression, too, in this scene.
Shines like the top of the Chrysler building. This reminds me of, do you remember that SNL skit with it's like a fake trailer for that Runaway Train movie? Unstoppable.
Runaway Train movie. No, I don't, none of this sounds familiar.
It's Scarlett Johansson is the guest, but she keeps saying, like, it's a bomb the size of the Chrysler building.
Oh.
And then, like, she keeps just comparing everything to the Chrysler building.
I'll have to look it up.
It's like, that's like 2 Chrysler buildings. Anyway.
I don't even know how tall the Chrysler building is.
Don't know.
But so Annie has this plan. They've devised this plan to hide Annie in the laundry basket.
Right.
And this is like her attempt to break out. So the laundry guy shows up.
Mr. Bundles.
Mr. Bundles. Miss Hannigan goes outside to flirt with him hard.
Tumble with the bundle.
She is thirsty. She basically assaults him.
Yeah. But it seems like he's complicit in this plot too.
Yeah, for some reason this grown man is like, yes, I will let this child run away by hiding her in the laundry.
Right.
But I guess he seems to think that, like, he knows she's not going to make it very far.
Right. And he probably also knows how horrible Miss Hannigan is.
I think he is well aware of how horrible Miss Hannigan is. But yeah, to help her get away, he actually, like, you know, pulls a move on Miss Hannigan.
Oh, right, yeah.
Anyway, so he drives back to the laundromat or whatever. He lets Annie out, tells her good luck. A cop immediately notices her, but
he sees her get out of the laundry cart.
Yeah, because Hannigan called him.
Yeah.
Or called the police. She manages to hide behind some Hasidic Jews and makes her escape. And that's when she sees the boys terrorizing this poor dog.
Sandy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tied cans to his tail. and they're chasing him around, and they go into this alley, and they're like, "What are you gonna do?" And she punches one of them and basically beats another one up, and so they're scared of her.
Yeah, no, she's a tough, scrappy little thing. I mean, yeah, she somehow knocks out this like boy who's at least a foot or two taller than her.
Yeah.
And then later in the movie, she like does a slight kick and like takes Warbucks down.
Oh yeah, it is in the shin.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So she beats up the boys and they run away, and then she sings "Dumb Dog."
Yeah,
to
which
Sandy.
was added for the movie.
Yeah, I don't remember it being in the stage show.
It's all right. I watched it last night. I don't remember it super well. So yeah, at first she's like, I don't know, she doesn't seem that interested in keeping the dog around until the dog catcher shows up. And that's when I guess she just like can't stand to watch the dog get taken away.
Right.
So she pretends that it's her dog. And
I think the whole thing is kind of the lady doth protest too much kind of a thing. Where she's like, I don't need you.
Oh,
She actually does. She actually does want him.
Like, she wanted the dog the whole time.
Right.
Yeah. And she uses a really funny excuse, doesn't she, to get the dog catcher?
She says that she left the license at home.
Yeah, okay, why? And, like, did people need permits for pets?
I mean, you're still supposed to have, like, a license on the dog's collar, I think.
What?
I think so.
I don't have a dog, so I don't... What are you talking... I don't know anything about this. I don't think you have to have a license to have a dog. That's crazy.
I think you need a dog license.
No.
Like a tag. At least one that has... I don't know. I mean, I don't know anymore. You mean... A lot of times they'll have...
dog license?
A lot of times it'll have their,
Who do you get this license from?
You print it out. They have the little license makers, dog tag makers at the Petco.
Those are just like...
Name tags?
Those are just name tags.
I remember my dog growing up having like his like vaccination tags on his collar.
It's probably some Yankee bullshit. No, I mean, I think a lot of people put I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I care. It just sounded crazy to me that he was like, "Where's your permit for this dog?" It's
right.
like, it's a dog.
Yeah.
You don't need a permit.
Yeah, he didn't mean like papers. I'm sure he just meant like his tags or whatever. But
whatever.
Who knows?
Whatever. Anyway, she says, "No, it's mine," and she comes up with a name on the spot, which is Sandy.
Sandy. Yeah, that's it. Sandy.
Yeah. And she somehow manages to get the dog to come to her when she calls for it.
Right.
And, that's it. They're friends forever.
But then the police immediately pick her up.
Yeah, but they do let her bring Sandy.
Right.
Which is nice.
Right. And they somehow manage to get the dog inside without Miss Hannigan noticing because she's flirting with the police officer.
He's flirting back.
Yeah.
This is the most promising relationship that we see Miss Hannigan in. So, yeah, they get the dog inside. The girls all love him.
And they sing the song. I think it's called Sandy when she tells them to guess what his name is.
The song is called Sandy. There's a cute line in it where she says, like, if you don't believe me, ask any of the fleas.
Mm-hmm. Ask any one of the fleas.
Yeah,
yes.
That's how it goes. That was cute. Miss Hannigan comes upstairs. They throw a blanket over Sandy to very poorly disguise him.
Yeah.
And Miss Hannigan says she's going to send Annie to the paddle closet. And
this
Sandy
dog will
to the
love
sausage
the
factory.
Sausage factory. Yes.
Yeah. I don't believe they made sausage out of dogs.
No, that was just an empty threat. But then Miss Farrell immediately shows up. Basically, she is the executive assistant to Mr. Oliver Warbucks, and she is there to acquire an orphan for basically like a a PR stunt.
So, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
If at any point a random billionaire approaches you and
Like,
says,
I want a child.
I'd like to borrow your child for a week. They'll come live with me. It'll be great. Don't do it. That's a bad sign.
Yeah.
It's a real bad sign.
Yeah, it sounds a little sketchy on the surface.
I know that it wasn't nefarious in Annie. Mm-hmm. But if it happens in real life, it's a bad sign, and you should report them to the police. You know what they do in the remake? It's like his name is Will Stacks instead of Oliver Warbucks.
Right.
And
like stacks of cash.
Yeah. And he's running for mayor of NYC. And I think, like, he and Annie, like, physically run into each other on the street, and he helps her up, and that gets him, like, somehow a photographer catches it.
Yeah.
That gets him a lot of really good press.
So he's like, ooh, I should run with this.
Yeah. His, like, he doesn't have, like, the bodyguards, but he has, like, two, you know, people in his entourage.
Right.
Who are like, oh, you should, you know, bring that girl in.
Yeah.
It'll get you even better press. And then, like, she's Miss Hannigan is her foster mother,
right?
So it's like, you know, it's just updated a little bit.
Yeah, because there aren't really orphanages.
Yeah.
I put it on last night and I fell asleep. The remake.
Yeah, well, as you heard, it wasn't good.
It was so bad. Cameron Diaz is so bad. I can understand why she decided to retire from acting after this movie.
I think it's sad that this was her final role. Yeah, it's a little campy. Little over the top.
Yeah. So I love Miss Hannigan's, like, all of her little pet names that she gives people. In this instance, she calls Miss Farrell my little scissors legs.
I know. I wrote that down too. What is that?
I don't know.
What are scissors legs?
I think it's just like the
Yeah, but I mean, like, all
blades,
legs do that.
The blades of the scissors.
All legs can go out and in.
I don't know. Maybe she was just complimenting her gams.
I should have looked it up. It's probably just like a 30s ism.
My little scissors legs. But then she calls Mr. Warbucks my little billiard ball.
That's funny.
Yeah, because he's bald.
You're right. Yeah, no, that's hilarious. So
when
Miss
she's having
Farrell,
her meeting with Miss Hannigan and Annie's hiding in the paddle closet.
Yeah, she's like eavesdropping basically. Well, I mean, she is in the closet,
yeah.
So it's not really her fault that she's listening to all of this. And when Miss Hannigan asks, like, well, what age do you want? Annie's over there in the corner, like, saying 10,
yeah.
you know, and maybe with red hair, and,
yeah,
you know, and Grace is, like, immediately smitten.
Right.
And,
so Miss Hannigan's, nope. She's like, no, we don't have any 10-year-old redheads. And so she goes over and grabs Annie, and she's like, well, how about this one?
Yeah. And it's unclear why Miss Hannigan, like, hates Annie. I guess because she's so cheerful.
Well, she said because she just got caught running away, Miss Hannigan's like, she says, this girl has it coming to her, and I don't mean living for a week in the lap of luxury or whatever it is.
Yeah, but she seems to have, like, a particular vendetta against Annie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
I think it's because Annie is just so optimistic, and she can't handle the cheer.
Right. Which, I mean, fair, kind of. I mean...
When you're around someone that's that happy all the time, like,
in the middle of the Depression,
they're a psychopath.
Right.
They're hiding something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, doesn't it just make you want to, like, shake them? I mean, like, just get mad about something. Anything. Not a 10-year-old. I would never shake a 10-year-old.
But sometimes it seems like some of her, like, optimism is kind of manipulative. Like when she's at later on when Mr. Warbucks says that he wasn't expecting a boy or whatever, and she's like, that's okay. At least I saw it once. You know, it's like...
Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Right.
Did you know that in the comics, originally, it was supposed to be little orphan Otto? It was supposed to be a boy.
Uh-huh.
But I can't remember who it was. I don't know, like a daughter or someone. Or no, the editor requested that they change it to a girl, and it wound up being a lot more popular with test audiences.
Wouldn't it be funny if they had put white contacts on her so she looked like the comic strip without any pupils?
Sorry, oh my God, that's terrifying. That's a terrifying image.
Sorry.
That could be a fun Halloween costume now.
Right? To be like the little
I'm
orphan
comic strip Annie.
Yeah, I don't have any irises or pupils.
And JJ can be Otto.
Oh, I'll be Miss Anne again.
Did you know Tina on Bob's Burgers was supposed to be a boy too?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
but
there's
with the same voice actor.
The exact same voice. Yeah. Like the same everything. Like they did a whole pilot episode where everything is the same except it's a boy.
Are there clips of it online?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's weird. It's weird. It's like you watch it and you're like, how did they ever think that this, oldest child could be a boy?
Funny thing. There is an alternate pilot to Gilmore Girls.
Oh.
With a different dean who was my brother's college friend.
What?
Uh-huh.
How has this never come up before?
I don't know. Yeah, there's if you look up alternate Gilmore Girls pilot, you can find it. Mm-hmm.
I can't believe you've never shared this.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's just we talk about Gilmore Girls a lot.
And we thought that everyone thought it was going to be his big break, and then he got replaced by Jared Padalecki or whatever his name is.
No, he could have been on Supernatural.
Right.
Anyways, okay, back to Annie. They've secured Annie to go home with Miss Farrell to a stranger billionaire's house.
Yes. She's welcomed by all the staff. When they all introduce themselves to her, they're like, what do you want to do first? And she's like, well, I guess I'll start with the floors and then the windows.
Yeah, that's cute. But let's back up just a second and note that the character of Punjab.
Right. Okay. So Punjab,
not great.
Punjab and the Asp are very problematic characters, especially the music that they play whenever they're on screen.
Yeah, they always have this snake charmer. It's with an instrument I think it's called a punji, and it's it's kind of like a flute. It sounds
and rattles.
To me it sounds like a cross between a clarinet and a bagpipe.
Yeah.
But it's like a flute with a big, at the top, there's a spherical part to it. It's got two reeds. And, I mean, if you just imagine Snake Charmer, that's the sound that you hear. And they play that music every time he's on screen. At one point, he shows that he can levitate objects, and then he heals.
He
Oliver Warbucks.
He definitely has magic capabilities that they don't really address.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just this weird, they're trying to give him this weird Indian mysticism or Hindu mysticism, but also he quotes Buddha a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they were just confused or if they don't have anything to do with each other. Also, that actor is from Trinidad.
Yeah.
Just for whatever it's worth. And then Mr. Asp, we don't see a lot of him. I think he's supposed to be a Japanese...
He's the driver, I think.
Yeah. He's a driver and a bodyguard.
Yeah.
Because at one point he's teaching karate to...
Right, and that's when
Mr.
Warbucks gets kicked in the shins.
Yeah. So needless to say, just the sidekicks...
are, yes.
This is a problematic thing.
They each have dance breaks in We Got Annie that are also offensive.
Yeah.
The music that plays when the Asp dances is dun, 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 dun. It's oh my God. It's
Those
bad.
parts weren't great. Both characters were in the comic strip. Mm-hmm. And the remake, they aren't in there at all.
I mean, good.
That's why he has his entourage guys instead, and they wind up being the bad guys. Okay, but yes, so we've established there's problematic characters, use of certain cultures, but we're in the mansion. Annie's confused. She thinks she has to start cleaning, and everyone's like, oh, she's so adorable.
Oh, you think you have to clean? And that's when they sing, I Think I'm Gonna Like It Here.
Yeah, it's catchy.
We've never had a little girl, we've never had a little...
I mean, it is pretty dope in that mansion.
Yeah.
There's a swimming pool.
An indoor swimming pool.
Looks nice.
And do you have notes about where they filmed this? I thought I remembered that it was like...
It's in New Jersey. Here, it's an interesting, sort of interesting story. Basically, the house was built by this guy named Hubert Parson, I think. Mm-hmm. He was the president of the F.W. Woolworth Company, known for, Woolworths.
Yeah.
And I think now they own Foot Locker. Like, it's not the exact same company, but, like, through the years, they've turned into the company that owns Foot Locker.
Okay.
That's neither here nor there, but it was called the Shadow Lawn Mansion. It's now part of Monmouth University in New Jersey. But anyway, so he had this place built at a cost of reportedly $10.5 million.
When?
Like in the 20s,
wow.
Like in 1929. So that was a shit ton of money. Yeah. But then he was financially ruined in the Great Depression, and he was forced to sell it to the city because he owed, I don't know, 100,000 something in taxes that he couldn't pay.
Wow.
Yeah, so he had to give it up. I think I read somewhere that he received like $100 for the sale, which is so disappointing.
So sad.
Yeah. I don't actually know what wound up happening to him, but he was forced to sell. It was used for a little bit as a military hospital. Probably during the war, World War II. I always struggle when I say World War II.
Yeah.
World War II.
It's almost as hard as a movie musical podcast.
Yeah. Then it was used as a school, and then the college acquired it for a measly $350,000.
Wow.
In 1955, and it's been with them ever since.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is really pretty. I mean, it does kind of look like a train station.
It does.
It's so big.
That's why I was asking, and I was like, was it actually a train station?
Yeah, I don't think the interior is the mansion, but the interior, especially, it reminded me a lot of, like, Union Station.
Yeah, it looks like Union Station.
Yeah.
So the interior isn't the exterior?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just the exterior that they used. But
Anyway, so we got all this dancing during this song that's really cool.
Yeah.
The butlers or whatever, when they're doing the dance with they have like cleaning pads on their feet and knees or whatever. That's really cool. There's like these two butlers that are swinging around on the like a mop stick or whatever, a mop handle.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It was cool. It was cool.
So then the song ends and everyone very quickly runs away to look busy because Mr. Warbucks has shown up.
Yes. He comes in huffing and puffing.
Uh-huh.
He's a very busy man.
Yes.
And he inquires about his new painting.
Which is the Mona Lisa.
Yeah. It's not a print of the Mona Lisa. It is implied. We are led to believe it is the Mona Lisa.
Right.
But he doesn't like it.
Right. And then as they're taking it away, he's like, actually, there's something about that woman's smile. Put it in my bathroom.
Yes. He also, immediately after that, starts shouting like all of the most famous rich people of the 20th century.
Right.
To call him, he says, give me Rockefeller, give me DuPont, give me Vanderbilt, give me Carnegie. They gotta, or they're telling him all these people have called, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. They have billionaire things to discuss, I suppose. But then this part's funny. He says, even though he's like so rich, he says, no time for dinner. Tell Mrs. Pugh to send up a cheese sandwich. an American cheese sandwich, which, as I recall, was for a time your favorite...
My favorite poverty meal.
Go-to meal. In fact, there was a time where you had a birthday, and I think one of our friends made you a cheese sandwich cake.
Yeah, Lauren.
I mean, it wasn't a cheese sandwich, but it was...
No, it was a cake that was made to look like a cheese sandwich.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I do love a cheese sandwich.
Yeah, it was...
I mean, it's just a grilled cheese that's not grilled, you know.
That sounds so gross. I never understood how you ate those. I mean, like, get some ramen noodles or something. But anyway.
So then he says, "Why do I smell wet dog?"
Right.
Because they tried to give Sandy a bath, and he
But they
jumped
gave
out.
Sandy, like, the most ridiculous bubble bath I've
Right.
ever seen. There's at least, like, 3 feet of bubbles.
Yes.
For some reason, the dog didn't go for it. Like, there couldn't have even been water in that bathtub. It was just, like...
It was all bubbles.
Anyway, that's when Annie and Sandy are revealed, and he's very confused. He thinks that orphans are supposed to be boys.
Orphans are boys.
I wanted a boy. But she wins him over by saying, well, I have an interesting smile, too.
Uh-huh.
Hang me in the bathroom.
And this is also when she's like, "It's okay. Sandy got a bath and I got to see this. It was pretty cool."
Yeah, she's like, this is the best day I've ever had in my entire life. And honest to goodness, that's probably true.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, who has that perspective?
No.
At the age of 10, too.
It's also, like I said, it's manipulative. You know.
Yeah.
So, whatever. So he lets her stay. And then we cut to...
Back at the orphanage.
yeah. And
Miss Hannigan is getting hot and heavy.
she's listening to a romance radio.
Fun fact, the voice on the radio is John Huston, the director.
Oh.
Yeah, father of Angelica.
Okay.
And Danny Houston, who's less well-known, but still pretty well-known. That everybody
I love Angelica
knows
Houston.
Angelica, or should know Angelica Houston.
Yes.
And a surprising choice for this movie.
What is?
John Huston.
To direct?
Yeah.
What else does he directed?
I mean, he a lot of older movies. I actually have not seen any of them, but I think something that he's probably most famous for, or very famous for, would be The Maltese Falcon, which is like a 40s film noir detective kind of movie. He did The Misfits. He did he did the 1952 Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
Not a musical, but
I guess with the era, maybe it kind of makes sense.
A lot of people were surprised by this choice, and a lot of, like, this went into a lot of the bad reviews. Like, they took a risk with John Huston, and it didn't pay off.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Overproduced is also a word that pops up a lot in discussion of this movie.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure I totally know what that means. Overproduced.
I don't know. Too much spectacle and, like, not focusing on story enough.
It makes me think, like, too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, there's too many people with too many demands.
Yeah.
Everybody back off and let the creative
Like, I
people
think,
do
like,
their
overworked.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like...
It's like when you're kneading dough and you knead it too much.
Right.
And then it's just blah.
They just added maybe a little too much is what they were saying.
I don't know. Okay, so...
So she's listening to romance radio and she starts singing Little Girls.
Yeah, that song's funny.
Because she wants some alone time for who knows what.
I mean, look, she's an awful woman, but I feel for her in this scene.
Yeah, because they're all just like...
They're spying
sneaking
on
in
her.
and spying on her or whatever.
We see that she's making bathtub gin.
So this is 1932.
Yeah.
This Prohibition has ended.
No.
When did Prohibition end?
I don't know, but I think it was still happening.
Okay.
I'll Google it. We'll find out before the end of this podcast.
Yeah.
But while she's making bathtub gin, we see Rooster and Lily out in the street.
Yeah. You see them. You just see them standing in the window when she's in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
And then as she's finishing this, well, first of all, this song is so good. But, you know, I think that Carol Burnett's performance in this movie is like Oscar worthy.
Wow.
I'm going to say it.
Originally, the role was offered to Bette Midler.
Interesting.
She turned it down.
She would have been good too.
She would have been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who I was thinking? Well, we'll get to it later.
Yeah.
We'll get to it later.
So basically, she's done singing the song, and she turns around, and Rooster and Lily are standing there.
Yeah, Rooster and Lily are already inside, and he's apparently gotten out of jail early for good behavior.
Good behavior.
And they're there to hit her up for money.
Yes.
Which, like, she doesn't have any.
Yeah.
She says no and sends them on their way after she catches Lily trying to steal some of her jewelry.
Right.
But as it turns out, that was just a distraction. They knew that Hannigan was going to catch Lily.
And so while she's reprimanding,
that was the whole point.
While she's reprimanding Lily, he goes into her wallet and actually takes cash.
Exactly. Rooster.
And she's really upset about it.
Oh, and there's a really funny line from Lily St. Regis.
She's Bernadette Peters. Amazing.
Love her.
Yes.
Love her. She
Name
says,
from the hotel.
I don't stoop to what you're incinerating.
I love her.
It's what I would call another...
oh, yeah. Charmed, I'm sure.
Another charmed, I'm sure moment. But I don't know. In this scene, it's funny. And she's a bad guy, so it's...
Yeah.
I feel a little better laughing at her.
Yeah.
Her exaggerated lack of intelligence.
I'm surprised that after this that Miss Hannigan wants anything to do with Rooster. But, you know.
Well, I think that she's very tempted by the money.
50,000 smackers.
Yeah, that comes into play later on.
Sure.
So
I wrote down I don't stoop to what you're incinerating as well.
Yeah. It's a funny line.
So now we're back at the orphanage, and they miss Annie. They're singing "Maybe" without her. I think it's just like a little scene there. I don't have anything else written down for that.
Yeah, because we were at the orphanage.
Yeah.
But back at Warbucks's mansion,
he's trying to get some work done.
And like a storm or like the wind, something's woken Annie up.
Yeah.
And she realizes she's like all alone in this huge room.
It's bigger than Grant's tomb.
Yeah. And she's a little freaked out.
Which turns out her intuition is correct.
Yeah, that's true. And this is one of the few moments where she like actually acts like a 10-year-old. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
So she goes in and what is he trying to do in this scene? He's like trying to get someone important on the phone.
Yeah, he's on the phone.
He's constantly trying to get like
famous millionaires on the phone.
Yeah, or he's constantly turning down calls from the president.
Right.
But anyway, he's complaining about that, about how FDR keeps calling him. And she goes, "He's our president, sir."
He is our president.
Oh my God.
So then the Bolshevik bomber throws in like a very cartoonish bomb.
A very like a perfect like ball sphere shaped with a little
little fuse
coming off of it. Yeah.
It's
And then Punjab comes in and does like what are they? It's like a shot put. Yeah, that sort of throw.
And it's a huge explosion.
And then Sandy keeps the bomber from escaping.
Yeah.
While the Asp
and Punjab
beat him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And take him into custody.
Yeah.
And then, Well, Warbucks is not surprised about any of this.
He like stays on the phone while all of this happens.
The only thing that he does is acknowledge Sandy and be like, good boy.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
So in the next scene, I guess it's like later that day or later that, it's probably the next day, we find Warbucks in his indoor swimming pool. Sandy jumps in. It looks, I would be so mad if that happened to me. Sandy jumps in right on top of him, but Annie...
But dog paws, like, when they're swimming, it hurts.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, it hurts when they touch you.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Especially a dog that big, because those are heavy paws.
Yeah,
and they probably have, like, really thick nails.
Yeah, they don't have retractable nails. So, but then Annie comes, gets Sandy out of the water, and then she and Mr. Warbucks have a little swim together. Yeah,
it's pretty cute. Her swimsuit is adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of her little new outfits are adorable.
So cute.
Yeah. I'm not totally inhuman.
So they have a little conversation. What are they talking about? I don't think it really matters.
I don't think it matters.
They're just having one of their little man-to-man conversations.
Yeah.
So then the next scene, again, Mr. Warbucks is trying to do work, and Punjab is in the office making a model plane levitate around the room.
Right, and Annie is literally running in circles around him, and then, like, at one point climbs on his desk.
Yeah.
Just a nightmare. And I guess this is another scene where she actually acts like a kid.
Right.
And Warbucks actually very, I think, patiently asks Miss Farrow, like, would you please take her somewhere? Go to the movies. Originally, he doesn't want to go with.
Right.
But,
I mean, the whole intention is to get them out of his hair so he can get work done.
Right. But Annie pulls another one of her little, like, manipulative moments.
Yeah.
And convinces him to not just come, but he decides to rent out the entire Radio
City Music Hall.
Yeah.
They bought out the 8 o'clock show.
Bought the whole thing out, and I guess this is when we get Let's Go to the Movies.
This is a fun song.
It's a super fun song. It was added for the film.
Uh-huh.
I will say another thing I saw a lot in reviews was that people didn't care for this song. They didn't care for any of the new additions. I think this is one of the biggest earworms in the movie.
Yeah, and I love it. I mean, and it's in 2 parts. I mean, you get the whole first part with Annie and Miss Farrell.
Yeah.
That's great. And with Anne Ranking's dancing.
Yeah.
In her like closet powder room is insane.
It's beautiful.
Just so she lives there, I'm assuming.
Yeah, totally.
With an incredible bedroom.
I think everyone lives there.
And then you get the second part after when they leave, and one of the funniest lines is "Turn the kitchen light off." Yeah. But
billionaires care about these things.
So they get to the movies, and first the ushers sing the song "Let's Go to the Movies," and then the Rockettes are there too.
Oh, that's right.
Which is incredible.
Yeah, they do a whole little movie dance number.
Uh-huh.
There is like that neat shot where they're like going down the line of Rockette dancers, and they all pop their heads up. You know the movie they're seeing, Camille. Are you familiar with Camille?
Is it kind of a what is that? Is it like a La Boheme?
Oh, I don't know, but I will maybe. I mean, the plot kind of closely resembles
Moulin Rouge. That's why I was saying that.
Yeah.
Is it like a Madame Butterfly, La Boheme kind of a storyline?
So basically, the similarities are that Marguerite, which by the way, her name is Marguerite. I don't know why it's called Camille.
Okay.
But her name is Marguerite. She's a courtesan.
Yeah.
And she's supposed to have a date with a baron. And she mistakes this other guy for the baron.
Yeah.
And it's not as complicated as Moulin Rouge, and there's not like a stage show that's mimicking the whole thing.
Right.
But that's the premise, is she falls in love with the guy she wasn't supposed to fall for.
Right.
And she has to reject him, and she's dying of consumption.
And he throws money at her.
Yeah, she's dying of consumption, but she does know that in this movie. And it ends with her dying in his arms.
Yeah.
So, I mean I would be surprised if Moulin Rouge didn't have anything to do with Camille.
Marguerite.
Oh, and another a fun fact about Camille is that the woman who was like the supervising editor, I think, on Camille, she was also doing that for Annie.
Really?
Yeah. I wrote her name down somewhere, and I wish that I had it in front of me.
I wonder if it was her idea to have that be the movie that they see then.
Maybe. Okay, here we go. Supervising editor Margaret Booth.
Okay.
Yeah, she was the editor of Camille. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
It's a tearjerker. Miss Farrell is crying at the end.
And Annie's passed out.
She is asleep. So Mr. Warbucks, I think this is his first sort of like fatherly moment with her.
It is, yeah. It's funny when so they put her to bed.
Yeah.
And like a classic, I mean, kids when they pass out, like they really are.
They're just like little rag dolls.
Yeah, and they will sleep through anything.
Yes.
So they put her to bed, they change her clothes, they tuck her in, and then Mr. Warbucks says something about
he's like, how did you know how to do that? She's like, do what? He said, put her to bed. She was like, you did it too.
I did? and you can tell he like hardly recognizes himself in that moment, and he's like, well, what's happening to me? I'm changing.
He knew how to like put his hands through the armholes backwards and like hold her hands while the nightgown went
and he
over.
didn't shy away from it. When she said, will you go get the nightgown, he just said, certainly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's,
right.
That is kind of unusual. I feel like most guys, especially in that era, would have been like, what? Where? What do I do?
And it's also showing his relationship with Miss Farrell growing because he's okay with taking orders from her.
Yeah, I think he is pretty respectful of Miss Farrell.
Right, but you also know that their romance is building. Yeah.
He doesn't.
Especially in the next scene when she takes Annie's advice in the next scene and wears her hair down.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because when they're getting ready, she has her hair down, and Annie's like, you look beautiful with your hair down. So the next day she does it, and she's wearing that beautiful, flowy, yellow dress.
Yeah, and he says something to her that's like, it's pretty flirty, but it's not, he doesn't really like cross the line. Yeah. Yeah, it's cute. Yeah. It's cute. And he, I think, oh, right, because this is the scene where, okay.
She's trying to
Let me
convince...
back up.
Yeah.
The flirting is cute, but also there's a moment where I'm thinking, wait, did he just agree to adopt a kid to please this woman that he is attracted to?
Yes.
Because she is pleading with him, like, let's just keep her. Everyone loves her. I love her. I can tell you love her.
And it's like, did she plan this outfit for this moment?
Maybe. Maybe. And he's like, no, I love money and I love power and I love capitalism. Yeah. Like, he literally says that's what he loves, which is...
And she's basically like... He's like, is capitalism enough or something? She's like...
Something like that.
Isn't there room in your heart for more than capitalism?
But then he's like, so I can tell you really care about this.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I really do. And he says, okay, let's do it.
Right.
Like, it's a quick decision for an adoption.
Right.
So, I don't know. I mean, you can take that as, like, he is doing way too much to get in bed with this woman. Yeah. Or he is letting her do... Yeah, he's letting her do the emotional heavy work so that he doesn't have to admit to anything.
Right.
And I think that's feelings.
I think that's more it, is that he's like, I'll do it for you, but it becomes clear later that he does really care about her.
I just think that's so pathetic that that's like the generous way to view it. Like, the best way we can view this is that this grown man couldn't handle the fact that he felt a feeling.
True.
But okay,
anyway.
it's sweet. He's agreed to adopt Annie.
Yeah.
Everyone's so excited, and also he and Miss Farrell are definitely hitting it off.
Oh yeah, they are.
Everything's going so well.
And so they sing "We Got Annie."
Yeah,
which
it's jazzy.
And
jazzy
Ryan King's,
little number.
And Ryan King's dancing is incredible.
Yeah.
I love that move when you step on a chair and step on the back and it falls over.
Is that Fosse?
I don't know if that's Fosse. It's just a move I like.
So back at the orphanage, the girls are like worse off than ever.
They're marching in a circle.
And they're chanting the lines of "It's the hard knock life."
Yeah.
And Miss Hannigan comes outside because some of the girls have they've broken rank and they're out of line. She finds them and demands to know what they're doing, and then little Duffy picks up a dead mouse and just drops it down her shirt. And they all run away. And that's when I guess Mr. Warbucks arrives.
Yeah.
He's there to get Miss Hannigan to sign the adoption papers.
And Miss Farrell has warned him that Miss Hannigan has fangs and claws.
Yeah, that she's a bit much.
Uh-huh.
And she does throw herself at him.
It's hilarious
quickly.
when he shows up and he's like, I want to adopt Annie. And she's like, would you excuse me a moment? And closes the door and screams.
Yeah.
And then she comes back out and she's like, would you care to step into my office?
I mean, I don't know. That's such a silly cliche, but Carol Burnett does it well.
Yeah, she can pull off a cliche.
Yeah, she's very good with I don't know, physical comedy. And it's not and it doesn't have to be physical, but she makes it physical and it works.
Well, and she can also do, it doesn't matter what the script is because of her delivery and her timing. You know what I mean?
You know who I'm just now realizing reminds me of Carol Burnett? Melissa McCarthy.
Oh. She would be a good Miss Hannigan. Uh-huh.
I agree. So would Kristen Wiig, actually.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this.
All right,
okay, we'll get to that later.
Let's come back. This is when we get to the song Sign.
Right.
And
she calls him my little billiard ball.
Yeah, she also says, I make a very dry martini.
Uh-huh.
I make a very wet souffle. And there's something really...
Sexual?
It gives me the heebie-jeebies. It's skeevy. He convinces her, though, eventually to sign the adoption papers when he threatens to...
He basically blackmails her because he knows...
I wouldn't call it blackmail. He just says, I know that you could be arrested because you've done this, and this. Right. And I'll report
Bathtub gin and whatever.
Abusing children.
Yes. Right.
Another funny moment in this song is she constantly mispronounces the
Buenos
names,
Aires.
Yeah, of major international cities. Buenos Aires.
I guess that means no Buenos Aires.
She says another one too, but I can't remember what it is.
The Argentine.
Yeah. He corrects her. So back at the mansion, this is when, after he gets her to sign the papers, we get back to the
Miss Farrell has been sent on the errand to pick up the new locket while he went to finalize the adoption. This
is when she's been having her karate lesson.
Right.
So when he gets back, Miss Farrell is there. She's got the locket. They call Annie to come down, and this is when she says, "You want to see what I learned?" And she kicks him, and it just looks like a normal, how a 10-year-old would kick you, and it knocks him to the floor. But then Punjab magically heals him.
Right.
And then we finally get to the moment where he gives her the locket.
Yeah, and he's basically...
this is when he says, can we have a man-to-man talk?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
He basically tells her his life story about being born in Hell's Kitchen and...
no, he was born in Liverpool.
Oh, Liverpool. Never mind.
Born in Hell's Kitchen.
In the stage show. That's what I remember because this is one of my lines. It was Hell's Kitchen.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, actually, so
is that because Albert Finney is British?
Yeah, and the lyricist actually for the stage production said he did not like the movie at all, and one of the things he didn't like was that they changed Mr. Warbucks and made him like a loud British man.
Yes, and they wanted him to be a quintessential rich American, probably.
Right. So he gives her the locket. He tells her, like you said, he tells her his life story. He's trying to explain, like, how he's come from being this, like, money, power guy to why he wants to adopt her now. He's trying to explain there's, like, more in life that he needs. Because what is all this money worth if you don't have a person to share it with?
Yeah.
And all the while, like, it is pretty cute the way that she's mimicking the way that he's walking.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
With the hands behind their back, and it's really cute.
And like anytime he stops, she stops and just totally mirrors him. They get back inside, and he hands her the locket from Tiffany's. And it's engraved to Annie with love, Daddy
Warbucks.
Daddy has a different connotation.
Yes, this was before Daddy was turned into something else.
I don't like the way Daddy is used in today's, like, in our current, like, lexicon. It grosses me out.
Yes.
They've ruined, I don't know who I mean by they, just, like, the youths and culture.
And the porn industry.
Yeah. You and JJ say it a lot.
So, well, actually, now the term is zaddy.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Where
know why.
does the Z come from?
I don't know.
All right, whatever.
So, but he presents her with the locket, and she says that she can't take it because
she's still waiting on her parents.
Right, and we learned that that when she was left at the orphanage, they left a note that they would be coming back for her, and they have the other half of this broken locket that she always wears. Right,
so she has to hang on to it.
Yes.
And so this is when...
So Mr. Warbucks decides that he's going to do anything to find the parents.
Right,
basically.
when she tells him about that. And his first action is to get J. Edgar Hoover. Get the director of the FBI. Uh-huh. The very first one.
It is funny that J. Edgar Hoover was the head of the FBI, and Herbert Hoover was after... I mean, lots of Hoovers...
Yeah.
In this time period.
See that movie, J. Edgar, with Leonardo DiCaprio?
I didn't see it, no.
Don't.
Okay.
He also calls for the chief of police, a guy named Walter Winchell, who, I looked him up, he was a famous gossip columnist.
Is this when he's just in the foyer yelling?
Yeah, he says, like, Miss Farrell, get me J. Edgar, Punjab, get me... chief of police, etc., etc. He calls for Walter Winchell, who was a gossip columnist, and then William Randolph Hearst, who you probably know is the newspaper publisher.
Yes. And then, I don't remember who the servant is, but so-and-so, get me a drink.
Yeah. You kind of sounded like Barack Obama when you just said that.
Get me a drink.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
So then they go on the radio. They take the search to the Iodent Radio Hour.
With, what is it, Bert Healy?
I think it's Healy.
Bert Healy, yeah.
And the theme song for the show is You're Never Fully Dressed Without a Smile. They go on with their public plea, and it's pretty funny how Oliver Warbucks is very bad at radio.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to read a script.
Yeah, he reads all of the directions.
Warbucks interrupts.
Yeah, that seems pretty funny. But also, okay, so... two other funny things in this scene are something I noticed. Annie's mind is blown when she realizes that it's not him tap dancing.
Yes.
That they've just got a guy with tap shoes making the noises.
And I didn't realize when I watched this as a kid, like, why... I didn't realize the significance of this shot. Like, it keeps showing his shoes, and I was like...
Like, why does this matter?
What's wrong with his shoes? Does she not understand, like... saddle shoes, like
Yeah, because you had grown up with television.
Right.
So, I mean, there was no concept of like, no, what you hear. Yeah.
And the other thing that's funny about this, the fact that the ventriloquist actually has the dummy with her.
That's what I was about to say. So, okay, we've established that it's all pretend and you just have to have the sound effects. So why is the ventriloquist doing ventriloquism? Like, why is the dummy there? Why won't she just open her mouth and make a funny voice? Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to get at.
But this is the first use of the term 50,000 smackers.
That's true. And then another thing, Warbucks gives out his home address.
Yeah, but I'm
radio.
sure everyone knows where he lives, though.
No, they don't, because there aren't Star Tours at this point in time.
Yeah.
There's not the internet with like weirdo stalker fans.
And he basically tells everyone to show up at his house.
Yeah, he welcomes it.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not exactly like a well-kept secret, but it's probably a better-kept secret than it is in 2021, where, famous people live.
Another thing is that we're led to believe that this mansion is on Manhattan. Right? It's on Fifth Avenue.
Yes, that's correct.
Which is
crazy
to me.
Yeah.
There would not be that huge ground.
I know, there's so much green. No, he lives in Central Park.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that, but that's totally true. That makes zero sense.
So basically, and then we cut to the orphans are listening to the radio show at the orphanage.
Yeah, they're excited to hear Annie, and then Molly does her, what's his name? Bert Healy impression.
Yes.
It's pretty cute.
It's cute. And then there's this very, like, the taller orphan who, like, is doing,
Pepper.
like... Not Pepper, the one with the braids.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Like
She's a theater kid.
Yes, and she is, like, for some reason, the sexy one.
Oh, no.
No, but she's, like, doing, like, these shimmies and, like, pulling on her braids.
She's mimicking what she's seen, like...
Right.
Women like Miss Hannigan do.
Right. And then Molly uses her shoeless foot as a microphone, which I imagine didn't smell very good.
I know, I was thinking that too. So then when Miss Hannigan comes in and interrupts them,
she says,
Molly...
Do I hear happiness?
And Molly just stomps on her feet and runs away. I gotta say, Miss Hannigan gets her foot stomped on so many times. You'd think she would have learned to just, like, wear boots.
Yeah. I think at one point she says, they never miss.
I know. Like, yeah, they don't.
So then Warbucks and Annie and Miss Farrell, I think, goes with them. They all go to Washington to meet the president. Yeah,
they go to Washington because he needs to get away from this huge crowd that he's brought. And they need to get Annie away, too.
Right.
It's just not really the safest environment.
Right.
So while
oh, no, yeah, Miss Farrell stays behind and she's interviewing the couples.
Interviews. Yes. And later on, she says that she talked to over 800 couples. And I'm like, how do you talk to 800 couples in one
afternoon?
day?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. 875, I think it was.
Yeah, something crazy like that. Oh, and
unless
also...
each interview was like, do you have the locket? Do you have the locket? Do you have the locket?
But I doubt it.
Right.
And then also, like, let's note that to get to not just Washington, but to the White House.
In a helicopter.
It's an autocopter?
Yes.
It's a machine of his own design.
Right.
Apparently.
Looks like a helicopter to me.
It is a helicopter.
But it can land on a dime.
But it's got like an open cockpit, you know?
Yes.
Because when they land, you can see Annie is just like in shock.
And then there's another Rich joke where he says it can land on a dime, whatever that may be.
Yeah, I know I don't have to point this out, but those weren't real. That's technology that did not exist.
Autocopters?
Yeah. I mean, the closest thing would be like a gyrocopter, but they didn't function the way that this autocopter functions.
Who was on the dime in 1932?
Who cares, nerd?
So they're talking to FDR. He's talking about the New Deal.
Yeah.
Of course, Warbucks is against it, but FDR wants them to be like part of the campaign for it or something, right?
Yeah, he's just trying to like get people into it.
Yeah, and he wants them to be on board and like be the faces of it or something.
Yeah, and just as like a nice thing, you know, he's telling Warbucks that he needs him on board, and then he says, well, and of course I need Annie too to help me with the youths.
Yeah.
And Annie is, of course, she'll do anything to help our president.
Yes.
And that's when she's like, well, I have a song that I think all of the children will love.
So yes, she teaches them her song Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which she sings first in its entirety a cappella, which is awkward.
It's pretty awkward, but it's not as awkward as when the president of America.
When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely.
Yeah, he chimes in. And then he's like, Eleanor, come on. And then begrudgingly, Warbucks chimes in as well. Because how can you not when the president of the United States is
Aren't they all singing while like looking at the portrait of George Washington?
I think they're something like that. I mean, they're standing in front of it for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess basically because Annie is willing to help out, the Warbucks decides that he'll help out too.
Yeah.
But it seems still that he's very anti-New Deal.
Right. He really does a 180 there pretty quickly.
He's kind of a sucker, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you want me to adopt this kid? Okay. Oh, this new kid wants me to get behind the New Deal? Okay.
Okay.
Sure. I mean, I'm not against it. I think all men should be that accommodating.
Do you want me to engage in some light socialism? Okay.
Sure. Why not? Oh, and you're into feminism? All right. Yeah. I'll get into that.
This is when Rooster and Lily show up in their disguises.
Yeah, this is when we cut to them, and they're like throwing them on in the street, and they knock on the door of the orphanage.
Yeah.
And the train is here. Of course, as soon as I said that, the whistle stopped blowing.
Cool.
But
There she is.
There it is. I swear I wasn't lying. This scene is so dumb because this is her brother, and all he's done is throw
Put on a
on
mustache and glasses.
a mustache, glasses, and if you want to be generous, a straw cap.
Yeah.
And then Bernadette has literally just put on a wig. That's it.
There's no way that she wouldn't have recognized them.
Yeah, but her mind is blown when they do the big reveal.
Like, I would never have recognized you.
But yeah, so they show up and they pretend that they're Annie's parents.
Right. What is it? Ralph and Shirley Mudge. Yes.
And because they've been able to convince Hannigan that they are the parents, they're like, there's no way that this plan won't work.
But also, it's not like any of the people that they're going to be talking to know who they are to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, maybe people might know who Hannigan's brother is.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. But yeah, so
they decide that it's going to work, and Miss Hannigan also knows. Miss Hannigan reveals something that we didn't know until this point, which is that Annie's parents are dead. They died in a fire.
Right. They go over the plan, and she reveals the parents are dead. And for some reason, I guess because Annie would be the next of kin, the police sent all of their belongings to Miss Hannigan. Miss Hannigan never told Annie. But so yeah, Molly's overhearing everything through the vents.
Yes. So, so Miss Hannigan has the other half of the locket.
The other part of the locket, yeah. And when they find it, that's when they do Easy Street, which is super entertaining. I love the stair choreography.
And it's just like Miss Hannigan is just like a step behind them the whole time. It's very funny.
Yeah.
She's like just playing the third wheel very well.
Yeah, like he does this like leg thing with Bernadette, and then you see Miss Hannigan motion at him like, okay,
My turn.
me too. And when he does it, she just lands her foot like in the wall. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And like they go like Rooster and Lily go through a door, and like she just hits the door frame.
Yeah.
It's all very funny.
So they do Easy Street, and upstairs, because Molly has heard everything, she's trying to get just any of the older girls to listen to her because she's the youngest and everyone overlooks her.
Yeah.
In a very funny scene, she's trying to like go tell the girls, and Pepper, the bully, is just like, no, keep cleaning.
Which is funny because you never see like her get Pepper on board, because Pepper ends up going with them.
Well, I mean, she's a kid. She's, gonna do what everybody does. But to get Pepper out of her way, she hits her right in the face with a mop. Yeah.
It's great.
It is great. It's pretty good. So then we cut back to Warbucks and Annie.
First they Hannigan and Rooster and Lily see them trying to escape.
Oh, that's
and
right.
lock them in the closet.
Yeah, that's true. They're trying to sneak out, and they fail. So then we go back to where Warbucks and Annie are landing at the mansion. Miss Farrell breaks the news to Annie that she didn't find the parents.
Yes.
And I don't know. I mean, this is when I started thinking, like, are there not like death certificates?
Right.
And like, how hard is it if we know who the child is?
Right.
And the parents didn't. I mean, the parents left behind their information.
Surely, if you have
there's
J. Edgar Hoover on the line,
right? If you have J. Edgar Hoover and the chief of police,
yeah,
and then also there's that New York Board of Orphans or something.
Somebody would know that her parents are dead.
I feel like they could have figured this one out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But whatever. I mean, the cops knew. Okay. Anyways. And the Miss Farrell also, when she's noting to Warbucks that all of the couples were just liars, she says a really funny line. She says, I never realized how many dishonest people there are in New York. I don't know. Maybe,
you didn't?
Maybe not as many in the 30s. Not that everyone in New York is dishonest, but I mean, like, come on.
Yeah. I
Come
mean,
on.
It's a cross-section of humanity. You're going to have some bad people.
It's a pretty big city.
Yeah. So we go back to the orphans who are now, they've decided to escape through the vent on the ceiling of the closet that they're locked in. Something that I noticed in this movie is there's a lot of like overdubbed background voices.
Huh.
Like when they're like escaping, there's a lot of like, try it this way. Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
you know
there's a lot of chatter.
Yeah, a lot of obviously overdubbed chatter.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't notice that element of it, but I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get oh my goodness another 2 times.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-huh. And then they're climbing down the drain pipe.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they break out, but they land themselves immediately on the roof.
Yes.
But yeah, they just slide down the pipe. They're good.
Yeah. They're little kids. They can do it.
So then back at the mansion, Miss Farrell is interviewing Rooster and Lily.
Yes.
Who are there as the Mudges.
And Warbucks is suspicious throughout this.
Yeah, and Annie is unimpressed.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have any reason, 'cause since they have the locket, no one has any reason to think they aren't who they say they are, other than they can just tell something is amiss.
Yeah, she's like, I guess I'll go pack.
Yeah. And you can tell she's pretty sad about it when she's up there with Miss Farrell. She does that maybe reprise
says,
again.
How I was almost his baby.
Yeah. And
she wants to send all of her clothes to the orphanage.
Which is very sweet, because she doesn't want to make her new poor parents
feel bad about being poor.
And then Warbucks has a couple lines also in this reprise of maybe, where he's just like standing on the balcony watching them leave.
Yeah.
But literally as soon as they're outside the gates.
While the attendant is still closing the gate, Miss Hannigan jumps into the car with them.
They're still very much on the property.
Yes.
Yeah. Stupid. And then they even pass by all of the girls who are out on their search party.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it doesn't connect to the girls that, like, Annie is in that car that Sandy is in.
Right.
But they get excited about Sandy.
They just see it as them being close.
Yeah.
To the house.
So they see Sandy in the back of the car.
And they get a new energy because they're tired from walking. They see Sandy.
Yeah, like right before they had voted to call it quits.
Yeah.
But you're right. They see Sandy and they're
reinvigorated.
Yes.
They're ready to go to the house again.
Yes. And then they get to the house.
Oh, what is it? Going back to their conversation with Brewster and Lily. The stuff that she's saying when they're like talking about the check, and he's like, "Oh, we didn't know about a check."
Yeah,
and he's like,
"We don't have no radio."
You didn't, and Lily grabs the check and she's like, "Well, we could use it for milk and a warm blanket." And he's like, "Just put it in your pocket."
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
Milk and a warm blanket.
What does that run us? About 50,000? How much is milk these days?
Probably about a nickel. Not even a nickel for the subway.
So the girls make it to Warbucks' house, and like the guard sees this like gang or gaggle, I would call them, of like shouting little girls, and he goes, "Oh, you want to see Mr. Warbucks? Okay, come on. all right, calm down, right this way."
Yeah, I mean they had already
lets them right in.
They had already seen 875 couples that day.
I mean, why do you even have a gate at this point? Why? What is the point of this? So
they run in and they don't know what to call Mr. Warbucks, so they call him Your Highness.
Yeah, that's funny.
But Molly faints when she sees Punjab.
Yeah, she faints twice.
Yeah.
Can't believe this, like, exotic person.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's bad.
But she finally spills the beans and she says, "They was bad people."
Well, yeah, but then she faints again.
Yeah.
When she realizes he's holding her.
And then...
I know she's 6, but, like, come on, Molly. Get it together.
She's a racist. So... So Mr. Warbucks has picked up one of Annie's signature lines and says, "Leapin Lizards."
Right.
And so then we get a search party going for Annie.
I wrote down the search party is on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said search party sent out for Annie.
Yep.
So she obviously knows that now that it's Miss Hannigan in the car with them. And so she devises this plan that she's going to say she has to pee.
Yeah, because she's right. When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Listen, lady, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
It's up to you. If you want me to pee here, I will.
Right. So they let her out of the car as she steps on Miss Hannigan's foot.
Of course.
And slips away through...
And she grabs the check.
Yeah. Good girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, okay, so this is when Rooster has had it, and he says, "I'm going to kill her." And Hannigan realizes, like, oh, shit.
He's really going to kill her.
Yeah, he's not kidding.
Yeah.
And Hannigan finally shows a sign of, compassion, humanity.
I don't know. She does show some humanity here and tries to save her. I don't know if it's, like, worthy of her, like, her grand elephant ride at the end.
No, I remarked on that, too. Like... WTF, what is Miss Hannigan doing there? She still kidnapped a child.
Right.
Like, she shouldn't be allowed to have children in her care at all. She shouldn't be allowed to be on an elephant.
No.
She shouldn't be in public.
No.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty wild, too.
Just for her not, like, oh, good, she didn't want her dead.
Yeah, not doing the worst thing. Like, yeah.
She did get punched out, though, which is brutal.
Yeah, but she was fine by the time that he had, he slides down the bridge.
And this scene is harrowing.
It is harrowing. She's pretty close to dying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's
scary.
Yeah, it's scary. I remember, so when we decided when it was revealed that we were going to do this show when I was in 5th grade, I didn't really have any concept of like the stage show being different than the movie. So I was like, how are we going to do the helicopters?
That's really funny.
So
that's cute.
So they're climbing.
Were you disappointed to find out there would be no helicopter?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And no love story between me and Miss Farrell.
Aww.
So they basically, it's a train drawbridge that's up that they're climbing the slats of, and they bring the autocopter comes to the rescue.
Yeah.
Again, Punjab comes to the rescue, and
and let's not forget that when they're trying to locate Annie, they somehow have car phones, and also autocopter phones.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was like supposed to be closed circuit radio or something.
No, I don't think so. But believe it or not, the first car phone was actually created in 1946.
Oh.
Which is way earlier than I ever would have
I would have
guessed.
assumed that it was like an 80s thing or something.
I mean, it mostly was. Like, commercially, car phones were a thing in the 80s.
Right.
I think, like, everyone has seen images of a guy with, like, a brick phone.
I guess maybe this
Big
was...
gray brick phone.
This was, like, to, like, cartoonishly show his wealth again, to be, like, he has the first car phone or something.
Look, I'm not saying that this woman deserved the Razzie, but I took it as, like, how do we very conveniently incorporate the technology of the 80s so that I don't have to, like, try harder with this scene?
I mean, couldn't they have had, like a CB radio, you know, like they have in trucks or something?
Yeah, because, I mean, that technology, I think, existed.
Yeah.
Like, at least in World War One.
Yeah. They have walkie-talkie technology.
They probably could have, yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They gave them car phones in 1932.
Yes.
So, anyways. But yeah, okay, so she is rescued.
Punjab unrolls his turban.
Yeah.
To use as to rappel down to rescue Annie off of the drawbridge.
Yes.
Oh, and the reason that he's going to kill her is that she actually rips up the check.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Yeah, we forgot to mention that part.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking, good for you.
So they rescue her off of the bridge, and then we skip to Together at Last. There's they've thrown a carnival at the mansion.
Yeah. This is a cute little tap number between her and Mr. Warbucks, and it's very Shirley Temple.
Yes.
You know, they're tapping down the stairs.
Yes.
Yeah. It's cute though. And he has straight up gotten her a whole circus.
Right.
But all of the little girls are there.
Jugglers and fire throwers, and the orphans are there.
An elephant, unicyclists, and the orphans are there, and they're all wearing Annie's clothes, which is cute, and eating cotton candy, and for like we said, for some dumb reason, Miss Hannigan is there. Lame. And I think, isn't this when he and Miss Farrell finally kiss?
Yes, they do finally kiss.
And everything is perfect.
Yep. And it ends with this very fake looking fireworks show over the mansion.
You know, I just remembered, very fake fireworks show. I just remembered, isn't there a line in the song Let's Go to the Movies about only happy endings, that's our formula?
And then it ends with the movie
which applies here. Yeah, I think obviously when they sing that, we knew this movie would end well. But funny enough, the movie that they go to see
Camille
has an extremely sad ending. Yeah, and I didn't think about that until just now. Anyway, so yeah, we get a really, really happy ending, and
that's it.
Scene, yeah.
Yeah.
So funny enough, I mean that is it. But did you know that there is a sequel?
A sequel?
To the Broadway musical.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
And I'm not kidding. It's called Annie 2. Miss Hannigan's Revenge.
No!
Yeah, I read so I read this on like IMDb, I think. It's considered one of the biggest Broadway bombs of all time. It's probably up there with that Phantom sequel.
Oh, yeah. What was it called?
I can't. You looked it up.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called. When it's revealed that Christine had the Phantom's baby.
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh, Love Never Dies.
Love Never Dies.
Love Never Dies. Okay, but yeah, so this one, Annie 2.
Annie 2, Miss Hannigan's Revenge.
Yeah, it says... can this be real? Can this be real?
It sounds like a fake... like someone... This is like someone is trying to think of the worst sequel title that they could think of.
Right. Have you ever seen the movie Hamlet 2?
No.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's hilarious, but that's basically what it is. It's like, how do we write a sequel to...
What is that movie, that really campy movie? It's like a camp horror movie, but it was Troll 2 or something, but there wasn't a first one. Yeah.
No, I think there was, but it's like totally different.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so it goes on to say it was eventually reworked into the off-Broadway production called Annie Warbucks, which is still performed regionally, but never actually on Broadway.
Oh my God.
Also, this trivia note on IMDb includes, as of 2020... Is that like it
might still come to Broadway.
It could be on Broadway, but it's not right now.
So Annie, the Broadway musical, was based obviously on the popular comic strip Little Orphan Annie by Harold Gray.
The Marvel comic, I know. Yeah.
Annie is in the MCU.
No. Just Marvel.
Right. That's cinematic, right?
Yeah. Two different things, Alex. Two different things.
Music was by Charles Strauss, lyrics by Martin Charnin, and book by Thomas Meehan.
Yep.
So, like you said, they wanted to base it on the comic strips, but they couldn't. I mean, they couldn't find like enough plot to make a movie out of, so they kind of just made their own. But they were heavily inspired by the work of Charles Dickens to create the new story.
That. Orphans and such.
Orphans. It had its first world premiere, like I guess this was like the first look shows or whatever in 1976.
Like preview screenings.
Previews. Let's see. The first Annie was replaced because she thought she was too genuinely sweet and not like tough enough. Her name was Kristen Vigard, and she was replaced with Andrea McArdle, who she had a really long Broadway career. She actually played Fantine when she was old enough.
Oh, okay.
And then replacements in the Broadway show included, guess who? Sarah Jessica Parker.
Really?
That was
baby Sarah Jessica Parker, SJP.
Yeah, she originated on Broadway.
Adorable.
And the New York Times estimates that Annie is produced 700 to 900 times each year in the United States alone.
Wow.
Crazy. And it won 7 Tonys.
Okay.
Which I think is up there for, I think the highest that we've seen is like 10, maybe?
Yeah. It sounds like the stage musical has had a consistent, like, better reaction, at least from critics.
Yeah. It won Best Musical, Best Book, Best Score. Best Actress went to Dorothy Loudon, who played Miss Hannigan. She was up against Andrea McArdle, who played Annie, and Miss Hannigan won.
I wonder if she felt bad.
Probably.
Yeah, because, like, how do you celebrate beating a child?
I know. She probably was like, oh, we can share it.
Yeah.
Best choreography, best scene design, and best costume design.
Wow.
Yeah, 7.
So, It's funny. So you mentioned that the actress playing Annie went on to play Fantine.
Yes.
Did you know, I'm sure you're aware Disney had a made-for-TV version of Annie.
Oh, yes.
In, like, 1996,
I do remember this, yes.
Or no, it was in 1999. But the little girl that they got to play Annie was Alicia Morton. And she had just finished, like, a 3-year run as Cosette.
Oh.
Basically, if you're in a musical, you've been in Les Miserables.
You've been...
But so, okay, get this, though. When she was Cosette, Ricky Martin was Marius.
Did you not know that he put...
No!
Yeah, he was...
What?
Yes.
What?
He was also on General Hospital.
No, that I knew.
Yeah.
But this is like height of fame, Ricky Martin.
I think this was before. It was shortly before his pop career.
Is this before She Bangs?
Yes, this is like post General Hospital, pre Livin' La Vida Loca.
Oh, okay. That was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was She Bangs. That's
made popular by William Hung, of course.
Oh yeah. That's really funny. So this is a world in which Ricky Martin as we know him did not exist.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, he had been in Menudo, but
Right.
he wasn't the Livin' La Vida Loca
He
guy.
wasn't Ricky Martin yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, if he was Ricky Martin, you know what I mean, and then he was cast in Les Mis.
It would have been seen as like a stunt.
That's crazy.
It would have been seen as like a stunt casting.
Yeah.
Sort of a thing. But he
Yeah.
actually made it on his own merits.
Okay.
Which is...
Total game changer.
Right?
Wow. All right. So I gotta look up video of that, I guess. Also in that made-for-TV version, we had Kathy Bates as Miss Hannigan. Victor Garber as Daddy Warbucks.
Is he bald in it?
Don't know. I don't know.
So this is 96. This is the year before Titanic.
This is 99, but yeah.
Oh, 99.
This is 99. He was fresh off of Titanic.
Fresh off Titanic. Okay.
Audra McDonald as Grace.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then Alan Cumming as Rooster, Kristen Chenoweth as Lily, which makes a lot of sense.
Was this pre-Wicked?
I don't know.
Because she originated...
She did.
Galinda,
Her and
right. Idina Menzel.
Adele Dazeem.
Right.
So funny enough, Kristen Chenoweth actually auditioned for Annie, the original movie.
Oh, really?
Annie, when she was little.
Did you see...
Drew Barrymore also auditioned for Annie.
They were beat out by Sarah Jessica Parker.
No, for the movies.
Oh.
The movie, yeah.
Oh, the 82 movie, yeah.
Yes.
So did you see this? Did you see when you were doing research about this? There was this like search, this like public search for the new Annie when they were doing the Broadway revival in '97. They did like I don't know, it was a Diane Sawyer hour-long special, which was like the search for Annie, and it was like televised. It was like a big like TV event.
No, I never saw that.
Like auditioned thousands of, like showed the whole like audition process. And the girl that they picked, the girl that won the contest.
Oh no.
She got like bronchitis before it was supposed to premiere, and they put in her understudy.
Who was?
I don't know who the name. I don't remember who the names were, but they just replaced her. They first had the understudy do it, and then replaced her with a different girl altogether.
Ouch.
And there was like some public backlash about it because everyone had watched this like special
and,
about
like,
the search for the new Annie.
Yes. Girl, yeah.
So anyway,
I mean, it's kind of like if you're an athlete and you get an injury, you're out.
But that's why you have understudies,
right?
So you can come back to the role.
Agreed. Yeah.
But anyway, tough luck for her. Did you have any recast? I mean, I know we discussed Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig.
I have one other suggestion for Miss Hannigan, which is Jane Krakowski.
I like that.
Right? Yeah.
I also said, Because you had said in which one was in Fiddler you wanted to bring someone back to play
Bette Midler, actually.
Right, yeah, who had been on the stage show.
Right.
So I thought it would be funny for Sarah Jessica Parker to come back to play
Sarah
Miss Hannigan.
Jessica Parker could be a good Miss Hannigan.
Right?
Yeah, totally. I didn't put a ton of thought into the other cast members.
My one idea for... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, obviously the kids, like, I couldn't...
No, I didn't do anything.
I can't do that. It was pretty recently remade, with, just to recap, Jamie Foxx as the Daddy Warbucks character, Cameron Diaz as Miss Hannigan, and Rose Byrne as Grace, and then with Quivanshanae Wallace, who was fresh off of her Beast of the Southern Wild breakout role.
Did she win the Oscar? Or was she just nominated?
Shit, I think she was just nominated, but she might have won. Because I remember her giving a speech.
Yeah, she might have won for one of them. My
Oh, by the way, okay, because I'm going to look up Quivanshanae Wallace Academy Awards. Prohibition ended in December 33.
Oh, so it was still...
It was on the very tail end. Yeah. And Annie. Yeah.
I had one thought for Daddy Warbucks, which was Common. I was just trying to think of bald people.
Oh, wait, what about Prince William, the sexiest bald man in the world? Didn't you hear?
Gross. For Miss Farrell, I said Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
But she might be a little old.
Small of a role for her, too.
Yeah. I mean, her role in Prom was pretty small.
I still haven't watched Prom.
Okay. It's fine. I mean... I would have preferred for James Corden to not be in it, but whatever.
Yeah, there's some controversy there for his, stereotypical portrayal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's played gay characters before, just not, super campy.
Doesn't seem like much of a stretch. But...
Ooh. Ooh la la. No, listen, I would be lying if I said I didn't wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be lying.
The other person I had for Miss Farrell was Emma Stone. I didn't write any ideas down for...
I could totally see Emma Stone doing it.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't write down any ideas for Lillian Rooster, though.
So, Steve Martin was offered the role of Rooster, but he wound up turning it down, and this is real gossipy. I read that he turned it down because he was just coming out of a relationship with Bernadette Peters.
Right.
And he felt like it would be too difficult for them to work together.
When did The Jerk come out? That was their movie together.
I don't know, but I can tell you that Quivanshanae Wallace did not win the Academy Award, but she was nominated.
The Jerk was in 1979, so that must have been...
That was probably if they probably would have been together.
It might have been when they met.
Could be.
Yeah, so that was 3 years before Annie.
Yeah. Who else was in consideration? Oh, okay, so allegedly, this is also real gossipy. Allegedly, Mick Jagger really wanted the role of Rooster, but he lost. He auditioned for it and he lost out to Tim Curry. And allegedly, that was the second role. Or one of two roles that he lost out to Tim Curry on. Apparently, he also really wanted to be Dr. Frankenfurter.
Really?
Yeah. Think about it, though. I feel like Mick Jagger could definitely do Dr. Frankenfurter.
I would like to see... I wouldn't necessarily want to live in it, but I would like to see the alternate reality.
I know, me too. Right? Me too. Give me a screen test, at least.
I want to see... Mick Jagger in the corset.
I know. Yeah, no, I really do too. And then reportedly, they both wound up turning down the lead role of in A Clockwork Orange, which doesn't surprise me for Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Surprises me a little bit for Tim Curry. I don't know how much any of that is true, but also Malcolm McDowell was great in it, so it all worked out.
But Tim Curry... Icon, legend. incredible.
Yeah, love him. Other notable casting notes.
Yeah.
Sean Connery was the first person imagined for Daddy Warbucks.
Interesting.
They also thought about bringing on Cary Grant. And then Jack Nicholson, he reportedly got the closest before Albert Finney, but he signed on and then dropped out when the producer changed or something.
That would have been weird.
Jack Nicholson?
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, though. Like, maybe his career could have gone in a different path.
Right.
Had he done that role, or maybe he would have been forgotten.
That's strange, because he was like...
Because that's the thing, like, if we're not... he
was like the critical... At this... In 82, he was probably...
He was still a pretty intense guy.
Yeah, but he was like a critical darling, like, in all of those, like...
Yeah. Like, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, he was part of that, like, that gang of...
The Shining.
Yeah. He was, like, you know, who was part of the...
I know, I just wonder, like, if he had done... Daddy Warbucks, would that have changed?
It probably might have changed his career for the worse.
I don't know.
I mean, because I feel like he's been like kind of
Has he ever had a role where he was just like, wasn't he in one of those Nancy Meyers movies? As good as it gets.
That's not a Nancy Meyers movie.
Oh, it's not.
But he was in as good as I think he was in one of those like Diane Keaton Nancy Meyers movies. Though it's called like. What is it? It's Complicated or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyhow, the only
Diane Keaton is great in a Nancy Meyers wine comedy.
Sure, that's true. I can't disagree with that. I noted Drew Barrymore and Kristen Chenoweth. They both auditioned
for the movie.
Carol Burnett. I didn't notice this, but apparently she had plastic surgery after the movie Annie. She had plastic surgery on her chin. And it, like, changed they say drastically, changed the way that the lower half of her face looked. And then they had to bring her in to do reshoots.
Oh.
And so
there are scenes when you can see her face look different.
Yeah, but I didn't notice it once.
I've never noticed it. I wonder if there's an article or something that tells you which shots were the reshoot shots.
Now that I know about it, I do kind of notice it in pictures of her today, but I always just sort of thought like, well, yeah, because she's like 80-something years old.
She's obviously probably had some work, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anywho, I think those are most of my notes. Like, did you have any memorable scenes that you wanted to touch on? Or...
Did you have favorite things? I mean, obviously, just I want to say just the whole adult cast.
Sure.
I mean, Tim Curry's incredible. Carol Burnett's incredible. Bernadette Peters is incredible. Anne Reinking is incredible. Albert Finney's fine. I mean...
Yeah, no, agreed.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a lot of favorite things about this movie.
Easy Street, right?
Yeah, I like Easy Street. Sometimes they're pretty cute. I mean, at its heart, it's a really sweet movie.
Yeah.
I think I just really am not in the mood for it. I should note, like, my new TV watching thing, like, while we're in the tail end... Hopefully the tail end of the pandemic time, since we're now all getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
I'm going out with a bang and binging The Walking Dead.
Oh.
So I think I'm just like in a totally different mindset.
That's a different kind of viewing experience.
Yeah, like I'm so used to The Walking Dead. I'm just like, Annie is silly and frivolous and
I mean, we're watching The Nanny, so.
Oh, you're right on track. Yeah. Love The Nanny. I should be embracing more TV shows like that.
It's on HBO Max right now. So you should watch it.
HBO. Yeah, I have that one.
Yeah.
I forgot about HBO Max for a second.
Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I don't think so, no.
All right. Well, I think we're done then. thank you for joining us again for The Hills Are Alive.
Yeah, thanks, guys and gals.
And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. And please don't forget to check out our Instagram at The Hills Are Alive Pod.
Please.
Thank you.